This is Mr. Luna, and welcome to 5 Minutes Ponderings with Teacher Van. There are 5 stages of listening: receiving stage, understanding stage, remembering stage, evaluating stage, and responding stage. In the receiving stage, intentional focus on the message happens. For a critical listener, he would really exert effort to focus his mind on the message. One challenge here, of course, is when the surrounding is so noisy. Students have a hard time receiving information kapag talagang sobra naman yung ingay sa gym, halos wala nang pakialam yung ibang tao sa naiistorbo nila ng mga nag-aaral sa paligid. Aside from the external, which is noise and other stimuli that distracts, meron ding mga internal na mga factors na nakakahadlang sa pag-receive ng information. Indiana State University's Department of Communication has enumerated some. Pseudo-listening, ito yung pagpapanggap na nakikinig. Selective listening, pinapakinggan mo lamang yung mga bagay na okay sa'yo. Defensive listening, wherein some of the messages, like comments, you take it personally. Insensitive listening, this one, nakapokus ka lamang doon sa mga words, sa mga figures, or you are not reading the non-verbal cues. You're also not seeing the emotions of the speaker. Stage hogging naman, you don't like to give spotlight to others. Ambushing, nag-aabang ka ng pagkakamali ng speaker. Then you're gonna use it against him. You're doing some things habang nakikinig ka. All of this really hinders receiving of information. The next stage is the understanding stage. In this stage, the listener attempts to learn the meaning of the message. It's very much dependent on experience and knowledge of the listener. Pero pag wala siyang open-mindedness, surely he cannot understand the message. Let us not forget to include in this process iba't ibang valid sources of information. So kailangan kunin natin lahat ng anggulo. Researching about the Rohingya crisis in Myanmar, maganda kunin natin ang panig ni Aung San Suu Kyi, ng military junta, and of course, ng mga Rohingya people, at ang United Nations, kunin din natin ang pahayag nila and aralin. By being open-minded to these sources of information, we can know better. Third stage is the remembering stage. We got to know that the analytical listening presented here is a process. The third stage, remembering stage, really depends on the first and the second processes. We got to have the value of being precise or correct. Kailangan tama yung naaalala natin. Kung ang sinabi ay ganito, dapat yung eksaktong sinabi nun, yun ang ating naitatala or naisusulat or naiuulat. The good thing today is we have the technology. We have the video interviews, nitong mga taong ito, so we can watch it over and over again or repeat some parts just to be sure. In TED Talks nga, may mga transcript pa yung mga speeches. So we can get that, so we can really be sure if the information that we remember is correct. The fourth stage of analytical listening is the evaluating stage. Ito ang stage kung saan huhusgahan mo ang halaga ng message or ng information. Judging requires one to be very careful. There's also something that is called suspension of judgment. Ang suspending of judgment ay pagpapaliban ng panghusga. Humingi ka pa sa mahabang oras para mapag-isipan mo ang mga bagay-bagay. The last stage is the responding stage. In simple terms, it is the giving of feedback. Critically, we can go a step further and refer to praxis. Praxis can refer to the applying or the practicing of the ideas that you have learned. When I think about the stages of analytical listening, I thought that there are values involved in each. For the receiving stage, the value is focusing. For the understanding stage, the listener must have the value of being open-minded. For remembering stage, the value of being accurate. And of course, the perseverance to get the correct information. For the evaluating stage, it's critical thinking. Finally, the responding stage, I will say that this should be about giving. When you already learned about the information and you already have critically thought about it and you already have a sound judgment about it, then it's time for you to act, it's time for you to share, it's time for you to give. This is Mr. Luna, and thank you very much for watching 5 Minutes here in Ponderings with Teacher Van.